Alright, everybody. Chronic Pain back with another Shadow of War video. Unfortunately, when I was recording, it was about 5 minutes. I took this fast travel point thinking that the video game volume was working, and, well, it wasn't. So the only thing you missed was me obviously coming to this point right here that's highlighted. It was shown on the screen just like this right here. So you guys didn't miss much. I caught it quick. Sorry about that fuck up on my end. But today's video, I'm gonna talk about a life adventure that probably one of the biggest things in my life, one of the biggest mistakes that I maybe wasn't in control the entire time. I think is the best way to say this. So at this point, it's either December of 2020 or 2021. I can't really remember the exact date. It's not one of those dates that I have PTSD from. Though a lot of people would think this would be traumatic, and you'd be thinking about this over and over, but that's beyond the I'm just blabbering on about that shit. Caragors. So at this point, I've had pancreatitis in October of that year for the very first time, and I was in there for 2 weeks. Well, no, 2.5 weeks. That's a crazy story. If you guys, I'll have to look to make sure that you guys already heard it, but it was, that hospital visit was crazy, but I hope that you guys actually heard of that one, before this, or I hope that it was actually recorded before me and my wife fixed the audio issues. But this is the second time. About 2 weeks before Christmas, I wasn't feeling good that night, and crazy thing is, I had pancreatitis. They told me to watch my drinking, and I mean at that point, I did. I wasn't drinking nearly as much, and they told me, moderation, come on, give me the 2 arrows in the head, just like they said last time. Some of these archers are getting on my fucking nerves. So I definitely limited how much I was, because I did not want that shit to happen again. It was extremely painful. So I watched what I was doing. Didn't think I'd get, pancreatitis again, about 2 months or a little less than 2 months later. So I was feeling like shit that night. Asked my wife, call 911, because I was feeling like dog shit. fucking hate Caragors, by the way. So, my wife called 911. Staring thing. I go to a military hospital because I'm retired from military. So, every time I've went, my wife, you know, has told him, you know, he's military, he has, you know, retired ID card, so he can go. And I've gone to the hospital, you know, to the military hospital that I'm close to every time. So this time though, it was a lack of communication from the hospital's point, or you know, someone else's, but it was a lack in their communication. And so they came and got me, and they ended up sending me to the civilian hospital, which has a very fucking bad track record around here. It is ass. You know, for better words. So I finally get to the hospital, and you know, when you come by ambulance, you're supposed to go to the back. I got triaged and everything, and what they do, they put me in the fucking lobby. Nobody does that shit. Military hospital, every time you go in there, you stay in the back, regardless why they figure out, you know, obvious because you've been there. I'm in excruciating fucking pain. You know what this reminds me of? Fucking Fort Hood, Texas. So, finally they come in, you know. No. Finally come see me, you know, after I'm fucking pleading with them in the lobby because they're fucking assholes. And it is confirmed that I have pancreatitis. They already did the testing and everything, except they put me in the fucking front lobby with everybody that some people have colds and shit. Like, I need to be going upstairs or something to get fucking medical treatment. So, I'm pissed off about that shit. Still in the lobby in pain. Haven't got no pain medicine, by the way, except what the staff in the ambulance gave me. And they've always treated me well. I'm happy with them. I'm always content with what they do. So, it's fucking retarded. I can't do that yet. So, they throw me in the lobby, and at this point, it's fucking morning, so, you know, I might as well not even have fucking got an ambulance, because I was going to fucking have a bill anyway. So it's fucking retarded to, pay an ambulance, even though it's not their fault. Can't blame them. You know, for me to go to this hospital, that they fucked the information up. And to be, you know, sent there, not getting any pain meds and shit, sitting in the lobby, when all this shit could have been, you know, averted. So finally, in the morning, so I've been in the lobby probably for about 6 to 8 hours, in pain. Fucking pricks. I ain't been back to this fucking hospital since, but we'll get back to that. So I get seen. I go up to the 5th floor because that's the floor that is, I guess they're MSW, medical surgery ward, surgical ward, or where people stay. So I'm there. And the first day, I'm fine. Feeling pretty decent. I've got my pain meds and stuff. That night, I'll pause and let the cutscene, and then we'll continue like usual. Alright, war troll. Okay. Okay. Well, he was simple.
Gollum? And why would you save me?
I wasn't talking to you, stupid ranger.
Fuck you, Gollum.
He is working for the spider.
No. The Dark Mistress watches over Gollum. Gollum watches over Bright Master. Bright Master kills the Dark.
Just like she watched over Gollum in Return of the King.
Spider pulls the strings. We share a common enemy in Sauron. And you can't always choose your allies. We don't.
Bright Master. Gollum will show you a great.
Alright, so I get up there, my parents,
Also just a troll.
my parents come and they ask why I'm here. I tell them, they asked me if I was drinking. I was like, yeah, but they just told me to limit how much, and I thought I was at the time. I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie about that shit. I wasn't fucking, at the time I thought I was limiting because I wasn't drinking as much, but my pancreas was still trying to heal at the point. So they leave.
That is yet to be seen.
That night, I mean, it was fucking rough. So at that point, they were giving me morphine. That shit wasn't cutting it. And, morphine for people that have pancreatitis doesn't really work out. You normally have to give a higher drug like maybe like Dilaudid or fentanyl. So eventually I started getting Dilaudid, and over the next 8 to 10 times after that, I was given Dilaudid because morphine wasn't doing shit ever. And I'll wait for this cutscene.
I know why you are here.
Return what you have stolen.
Silence, Ringmaker. You forget yourself. Stolen. You begged me to have it. And what of you, Talia?
I am here for Minas Ethel.
You seek to save it, even though it may already be lost.
There must be a way. There is truth in your vision. Grant me another.
To what end? For knowledge? To dominate? Oh, you don't have to tell me. Here is your truth.
You want to move up the ranks, you got to kill. You want to get noticed, kill a pink skin. The bigger the target, the higher you rise.
Idril. She dies.
Many will pass before Sauron is defeated.
This knowledge can guide our hand. If we kill this assassin, perhaps this future will not come to pass. She can be saved.
She will live or die with honor, and it will not shift the tide of war. It is Castamere who must be protected. If he falls victim to this assassin, we will lose the Palantir.
You found him precious? For the Bright Lord. We go to Kirith Amleth. Yes, we'll find the nasty assassin.
The assassin must be stopped. Gollum.
Alright, so
Find him?
up there at night. Instead of giving me morphine, they start giving me Dilaudid. And that's, you know, it's a good painkiller. It, you know, makes you pain free for a while. Problem with pancreatitis, it lasts a long time. It lasts about 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And in my case, normally it lasts about 7 fucking days every time, fortunately. I don't know, if I sound emotional or more energetic over this, it's because
What are those orcs doing?
a lot of this could have been prevented, but it wasn't. Well, it wasn't prevented on my part, but not their part either. Like once I was getting healthcare. So
Earlier you said you recognized the assassin's curse.
so I ended up,
So
you know, I was there
those visions.
during the night. They gave me Dilaudid once. While I was still in pain, you know, after 2 hours, because, I mean, it doesn't last long. But, so they ended up giving me,
Cause these wounds. We're on the right track.
Dead for some time. We'll need to
it was a much
want to catch up with the assassin.
lower painkiller than morphine.
The assassin kills his way up the hierarchy.
But they ended up, after that, you know, my heart rate started increasing and my anxiety and everything went up, so they gave me Haldol.
Palantir is. He must be kept alive at all costs.
And by that time, I was able to start eventually getting my next dose of Dilaudid. And a lot of this continued into the next morning. Oh, Toradol, that's what they gave me. Doesn't really work for shit really when you're having that, but yeah. So they gave me that. It was the next morning. And they're still giving me Toradol, Haldol, and Dilaudid. My parents came to see me again, and this would be the last night they'd come see me before, you know, what happens. And, you know, they asked me how everything is, and I tell them everything's okay for now.
Just like
And this is the same hospital my grandma's went to. And she wasn't treated so fairly. And, you know, my aunt, which is my mom's sister, and my mom, which is her sister, you know, they ain't like this hospital really anyway. So, you know, that's why my parents still worry about me being here. And so they come in the day rather than the night. And they leave later this night. And so at this point, I say it's about 7 or 8. Instead of them giving me Haldol, you know, something that they're doing to combat the anxiety, PTSD, and the pain, they gave me ketamine at this point. So at this point, they're giving me Toradol, ketamine, Dilaudid, and Haldol. And so when, I don't know if a lot of you have ever had this, but when you get it's what they call a bolus of ketamine. They essentially give you a big hit in the beginning. And, well, they gave me that. At the time, you know, they were still administering the Dilaudid, like, pain medicine and everything. Well, my fucking mind went fucking stupid. And it was found, you know, that I had no control over it because there was investigation shit because how crazy this shit happened. So, at this point, I didn't know what the fuck was what. Because all the shit they were giving me wasn't working good for how I was feeling. So, what's my mind ended up doing? My mind ended up... My mind goes insane. I remember what happened, but at the time, I don't know what the fuck was happening. Okay, I get this. Alright. So what do I do? I quite remember asking the nurse, because it's different with hospitals, you know, on the civilian side, rather than military side, because I have TRICARE for health insurance. Normally, if you're retired or whatnot, or in the military, TRICARE is the insurance that you have. So, let me figure out his fucking fears. Flies. Alright. So, do we have flies and or caregivers around? I'm assuming we'd have flies. No? Yes. So, at this point, I am fucking... My body's going crazy. I asked the nurse, I'm like, do you know how we're paying for this? Or like, it was like, do you know how I'm paying for this? Have you guys already let TRICARE know? So that I can... You're a fucking bitch.
You'll be sorely disappointed.
So... basically, she's like, well, we'll have to see. And then, from what I know after that...
Let's hope his death has changed what Sheila saw from Lucifer.
Lucifer will go the way
Wow.
of all flesh.
Good job, Gollum. He's already dead.
How much of your soul was lost in that ring?
The dark mistress will be pleased.
Alright, good.
Your drooling customer
So...
should be safe.
I think I quite remember the time. Because I know I looked at my phone, and at this point I was in a gown, because, you know, they tell you to strip out of everything. So I had my boxers on, and I was in a gown.
But the siege of Minas Ithil continues. The Palantir is still at risk of falling
Man.
into enemy hands.
Still a little rough to talk about this shit, so...
This is a perfect opportunity to sow chaos with himself.
So
The assassin had one more target on his list. We should finish what we started and kill the war chief's final.
I go and... I start gathering my stuff. I have a... Iron flask, which is a... It's a water bottle. Kind of like a Yeti, but not a Yeti. I get my phone. I get my wallet. And... I'm looking at the nurses walking back and forth. I have an IV and everything in me, by the way. And so... I mean... What do I end up doing? I'm pacing around, or I'm not I'm watching like what the nurses are doing at their time intervals and everything, so that I know what I can do. Because at this point, you know, with the information I've gotten and everything, I'm thinking that... Because I thought at one point I was being transferred from this hospital back to the military one. Yeah, that's kind of the message I got from them, you know, when I was asking questions and stuff. But they didn't give me that. So... when I was talking, you know, I was trying to plan stuff out, you know. It's kind of like, you know, when you're in SEER school, you know, you're trying to have, trying to survive. So I thought these people at this point took me somewhere. That wasn't the hospital. Honestly thought that they took me a couple buildings across the street and to somewhere else. So I was kind of in like fight or flight, and I honestly thought, you know, that something was going to happen to me. Just because it found out they kept giving me these drugs, these medications, more frequently than what they should have been. So all these bolus hits from ketamine and stuff, my mind just started going fucked. So what I end up doing is, after found out what they were doing, you know, I got the pace count down, you know, how long they were doing their stuff and whatnot. I was then able to rip out my IV. I then started running down the hallway, and it's fucking nighttime, by the way. So I'm fucking running, and what I end up doing is I'm running down the hallway. By the way, it's 5th floor, so run down the hallway, you know, through people's rooms and all this shit. Obviously, I know it's inconsiderate at the time, or now, but at the time, I ain't no fucking shit. So I was trying to evade nurses. I think there was like 2 security guards. I was evading all them people. Run through rooms in my gown. And, you know, it was close to Christmas time, so finally I got out of, you know, people's rooms. I was in, like, you know, the main lobby on 5th floor. And so I was in the lobby. They had a Christmas tree there, you know, on that floor, you know. Keep it festive and everything. I look at the desk, because at this point I'm cornered by everyone. I feel threatened because I'm still thinking that I'm not even in a hospital. I'm fucking somewhere else. And so I saw a pin on the desk. What do? I grabbed the pin. I ended up grabbing a fucking nurse hostage with a pin. And, you know, they tell me, you know, don't do anything rash, you know, don't do anything stupid. And it's honestly because all the meds they gave me, you know, I was cleared and everything. So, and I feel bad for the person, you know, I apologize and everything, you know, after everything was said and done, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, you know. And so they ended up you know, obviously pulling back. I'm looking at the, you know, the fire alarm, because, you know, that's the one thing I noticed. I don't know why I noticed it, but I noticed it around. And, you know, you're always told not to pull a fire alarm unless there's obviously a fucking fire alarm, or a real fire or some shit. So I'm looking at it, and, you know, all these people, at that point I noticed they're like all trying to move to that to tell me not to do that. So I'm thinking, they're telling me not to, that must be something important. So I start run, you know, I let her go, I run, I smash it, well, actually before I get there, I get cornered in the hallway. And this is where I'm glad that stuff's reinforced. I get out of 3 rooms, I get cornered in a hallway. And the only thing in my mind is, I'm thinking I'm on a 2nd floor. I run full speed to this fucking window, which is on the 5th floor. Headbutt that shit, and I bounce off the fucking window. All these nurses, I hear people say, no, don't do this, don't do that. No, don't do it, don't, stop.
Forces keep growing. The Gondorians will need to push deeper into Mordor.
And I bounce off that fucking window. And at that point, I'm cornered. I'm wondering why I didn't go through it. And trust me, I was running fucking fast
Can't have run out of orcs in this city.
at this window.
There are a few.
And this is one of the few times I'll interrupt the dialogue.
Last bodyguard of the war chief leading the siege.
If I would have fell out of this window, I'm just imagining right now that it was like... imagine the Matrix when Neo jumped off the building the first time, you know, and he fell. That literally would have been me. So... at that moment, you know, when I bounced off that window, I didn't know at the time, you know, that that glass actually saved my life, but I
We're after the same orc, and the way to a war chief is through his bodyguards.
You sound like you've had some experience in this.
I've had enough.
I
Your lead.
ended up so bounced off that. I'm still in the fucking hallway, and then that's when I get back to the lobby. So you know, I'm back here now. So I after I get the you know, the hostage, I pull the fire alarm. I security, you know, finally gets up here, you know, from the disturbance. And if you know my if you know my other video of when, you know, I was in the military hospital, I talked about all the shit that happened. I'm then running down the stairs. I evade 2 security guards. And middle of December, it's fucking raining. It's cold as shit outside. And I hide in a bush. There's Doogs. Doog. Oh, he can be instantly killed by beast stacks. That's very coincidental since he's on a fucking beast. So and then, you know, I wait for them to run because they're still trying to find me. And I hide in a bush. I wait for them to go. You know, the fire alarm's still going off, so obviously the fire department, probably police department, everybody else is fucking coming. Because, you know, that's what they do, you know, when that stuff goes off. Especially in a hospital. So, when I pulled that IV out, I left the IV on. I just bit the tube and everything. And yeah, so they
What is it with you, man swine?
I run over, you know, across the street after I evade all of them. And I'm evading traffic and everything. Running in the fucking gown, no fucking cold, fucking rain and shit. There's you know, I end up getting inside this fucking IHOP. And, you know, I get in there, you know, they see blood coming from me and everything. You know, the one thing I tell them is, I've been kidnapped. And, you know, I tell them to call 911, you know, because, you know, I'm fearing for my life. So I wait in there. And fucking video.
Sorry for the war chief we're hunting. He'll be lonely without his bodyguards.
You'll join them soon enough.
So, all right, yep. So,
War Chief Baranor seeks is just one of many.
they
Will continue their attacks on Minas Ithil.
Then our path is clear.
obviously they call 911 because there was a decent amount of people in there eating, and there was a nurse in there. So, you know, she was tending to me and everything, and so, you know, I asked her if she called 911. You know, she called it while also taking care of me. I then, you know, tell them, you know, I've been kidnapped, blah, blah, blah. You know, they could tell that there was something distressed with me. So the cops came, asked me, you know, took me back over to the hospital, and then the hospital staff asked, you know, is this the person? They're like, yeah. You know, this person that escaped. And I guess the person in the ambulance that took me over there, paramedic, he, you know, took all my vital signs, you know, found some stuff was abnormal. They took my blood work, and then they're like, there's something wrong with this guy, you know. So they then they didn't take my blood work, but I have to go to the military hospital because they don't want to treat me. They're like, he's banned, he pulled a fire alarm, took a nurse hostage, we don't want him here. So at that point they're like, okay, you know, we'll take him. And then they started doing an investigation, and they found out the hospital, you know, was negligent on when they gave me meds and everything, but
You put too much faith.
I couldn't sue them because I was given a bunch of reasons, and then court, and I ended up suing them. I did not.
Tell me what you wish to see.
Even though they did what they did, I'm not sad or mad about it. Doesn't matter.
So selfless. Nothing more.
But I'm still not allowed at the hospital, even though that they admit wrongdoing and stuff. I guess typical.
To know my fate with the Nazgul.
Be careful what you ask for, Ranger. With prophecy comes torment.
We take the city at dawn! Submit to your destiny.
I know what you fear, Talion. Shelob's vision is not cast in stone.
The Witch King.
It is the power of domination. The ring can enslave the minds of men.
What can be done?
Sacrifices must be made, and many will be lost. But purpose, no matter what the cost.
Lives can be saved. If the war chief from my vision is the same one Baron
So that's the
they will need help.
One war chief makes little
story of me almost jumping out of a
This one war chief is the most immediate
fifth floor
threat to
hospital.
Minas Ithil. I will not stand by while Baron
One of the
Ormuz
things that my
risks
mind
lives
didn't
to
even
take
know
him.
that I was doing at the time.
Baron Ormuz, I'm here to help. This war chief you're after, he's not one to be taken lightly.
We brought down war chiefs before, Ranger. But I won't turn down an extra
And
sword.
at that time, I think it'd be like 2 or 3 years that I would have passed away from jumping out that window if the glass would actually have broke. These are not my favorite missions to do.
We usually work alone. I hope the aim of these Gondorian archers is true. Otherwise, we'll be dodging friendly arrows.
They're experienced soldiers. They'll do their part.
Seems like they make this one a little bit easier though.
An elven archer would be worth 3 Gondorian archers.
Really? Only 3?
One down there.
It's taking the war chief so long.
Never underestimate men fighting to protect their home.
This is not their home.
We'll go take out this guy first, cause he. I don't think it's as risky as this one over here.
That's the last of the archers.
Now let's get to a vantage point. Time to signal Baron Ormuz men.
Well, they made that one a hell of a lot easier than what they normally do.
Nothing is sweeter. Together we will crush their defenses and grind them to dust. Together, as captains and war chief united, we will have victory. Together, we take the city at dawn. Set them ablaze! For Gondor!
Now is the time to strike.
Oh, hell yeah.
You must be the fool who blood of man-swine will flow into my belly today, and I'll drink yours first. I ain't
I got-
eating it today, so I reckon
There we
I'll
go.
turn you into a nice hot breakfast. Follow my lead.
Sad. Already dead. Get out of here, bitch. Should be dead now. Hell yeah. I think that was 4 right there. Captain's War Chiefs, get out of here, bitches.
I'd say we're a good hunt. Less so for the war chief.
And his archers. We should go hunting again.
It would be my pleasure.
So, Talion, did we make a difference?
We cannot see your lens. We must return to Shelob.
The only reason to go back is for my ring.
Enough! This is about more than your ring. Or you! Her sight may be what saves us all.
Alright, but I need to get down there. Alright,
You trust her too easily.
I cannot ignore what she has shown.
need to get everything that these guys drop. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I know it was probably fucking crazy when I was going through it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe if you guys want. Enjoy your guys' day. See you guys next time.